Hey, everybody. Just getting set for today's show. So hang tight and we'll get started here in just a few minutes. Oh, goodness. There we are. Close that out. Hey, Alfred, what's going on? We are going to start at the top of the hour here. That's it. Post this. It's a call in for trip planning questions tonight. Trip planning questions. It's going to be for Wednesday. It's a question show, but it's going to be a call in question show. I just booked my flights to Disneyland about 10 minutes ago for the race weekend. All on points. I booked my flights for Disneyland and Walt Disney World and spent less than $100 for both flights round trip. And that's with early bird. If I wouldn't have booked early bird, it would have been $12. I'm getting ready to turn 50, but I don't think I'm having a party. I think I'm just going to turn 50 and eat turkey because it'll be Thanksgiving. Just one show tonight because Friday's show is already in the can before Pam went down to Walt Disney World. It's a good one. It's about golden hour of photography at Walt Disney World, so that was a fun one to record. So tonight, just one show. And I have some questions here that we can use. We could do some would you rathers, throw them in the chat. That's a good idea, Kristen. Thank you for that. Disney World in late January or Disneyland in March? I like that. I'll answer that. Thank you, Margie. Still got till November, so I still got a month. And what's today? 20. Ooh, tomorrow's my mom's 70th birthday. My dad's was 2 weeks ago tomorrow. My parents are 2 weeks apart in age. So tomorrow's my mom's 70th birthday. And then my 50th birthday is in a month and 3 days. Since this show will be shorter, when we do the calls, we're going to keep them to questions if you could. So just not like a long dissertation, just a call in with a question. Or if somebody has a question and you have an answer you'd like to give, that's cool too. But we're going to try to keep the questions like 5 minutes or less. So hopefully we can get a few voices in because this isn't like the hour plus show on a Sunday night. Just trying to try something different. We'll start in 1 minute because I said at the top of the hour, we will get going. Let's get the old headphones on. The old ear warmers. Hey, John. Happy Monday to you. All right. Well, it's at the top of the hour. And so we are going to do this. So, again, if you have a question, I'd love to have you give me a call with a question. So, this is going to be trip reports just for this show. Sunday nights are what that's for. It's going to be a shorter show. So, just call in with a question or an answer to another question or a thought. But let's keep the calls to like 5 minutes or less if we could, because these question shows are shorter. Obviously, this is for Wednesday. It's in lieu. It's a listener question show, but we'll do it a little different. So, yeah, if we could do that, that would be awesome. Not trying to, yeah, I just want to try to keep it so that everybody can get in. Also put the chat here if somebody wants to join us. Let's see, how do I do that? Real quick before we get rolling. I promise we'll get everybody in on the video chat, but there's the link. You'll just be kind of in the waiting room until we can see if we can get everybody in. Okay. All right, let's give this a go. What number is this? 78. Here we go. Welcome to episode 2378 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. I hope this week finds you well and that you're having a great wrap to October as we're getting very close to Halloween. That's right, 6 days from now, the little ghosts and goblins will be dressing up and going around and getting those Kit Kats and the Twix. And it's one of those great nights of the year. So get ready for that. But we're going to be here answering your listener questions today and having a great time. So today, joining me for today's podcast will be nobody from the panel. It's just going to be me, and we're going to be open up the phone lines at 407-413-9395. That's 407-413-9395 for your listener questions. And we're going to be taking trip planning questions today, just trip planning questions, not philosophical questions, not trip reports. We're talking trip planning today to the Disney destinations and having a good time with that. So we're going to try that where we make this live and we fill in because, of course, as of recording time, Pam and Ricky are living their best lives down at Walt Disney World. And my brother from another mother, Scotty G, just spent 8 awesome days at Disney's Alani Resort and Spa out in Hawaii. And I've been tracking him on Find My Friends. We've been texting many, many times. He's been sending me all the good eats he's been having, the shave ice, the foods at the luau's, the spam from McDonald's, which is pretty incredible looking. He had a breakfast meal that had like spam and some kind of special sausage, Portuguese sausage or something. Everything he's had out there, these pancakes that looked heavenly. I mean, he has lived his best life other than that he didn't get in the surf at the North Shore. And he got back today and he said he would record with me. But I know how it is the day you get back from Walt Disney World, right? You're trying to readjust to being back to reality. You got to go get the dog from the relatives that's been boarded up there. You got to kind of get food for the fridge. Your kids got to get ready to go back to school. Scott's a good guy. He would have done this. He would have been here with me, but I didn't have the heart to ask him to do this upon traveling. I think it's 6 time zones for him east. He would have been a mess and it would have been just really hard on him because he got back early this morning. So I appreciate Scott, but we're going to ride this one out solo. And I can't wait to have him on the show. We're going to do multiple shows coming up here shortly with Scott about his Hawaii adventures because I want to hear about his room, about Alani's entertainment, dining, and then about all the stuff he got to do outside. He did the Jurassic Park experience. He went to where they filmed Lost. He went to the North Shore. He ate at all the places and all the cool stuff around Alani. So we're going to be able to talk, excuse me, to Scott about all those things coming up here soon. So stand by for that. All right. So if you have a trip planning question or anything like that, you can give me a call at 407-413-9395, 407-413-9395. All right. We're going to lead off today's show with a question from Kevin in the inbox. And he says, He has some feedback on the core memory show that we did the other day. And so we're going to jump into that. He says, "Hey, Mike. So on our first visit with the kids in February of 2020, we arrived at the Contemporary Resort for a 2-night stay before departing on our cruise. When we got to the lobby, oh, and FYI, I'm from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, our 3-year-old Haley ran over to the elevator, and a nice man named Carl stopped her from getting on, saying something like, 'Where are you going, little princess?' When I thanked him, I looked at his name badge, and Carl was from, yep, Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. I looked at my wife, and we both had the, well, isn't it a small world look. Then a couple of moments later, we were waiting in line to check in. So 2020, when a cast member dressed in a suit and tie walked by, looked at our little kids, and dropped a hi, you pals, in the perfect Mickey Mouse voice. Our kids, 3 and 5 years old at the time, dropped their jaws, and looked at us and said, is that? It's the best start to an epic 9-day vacation that included 2 nights at the Contemporary, a 4-night Disney cruise, and 2 nights at Coronado, spending the last day with park hoppers and going to 3 of the 4 parks from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. The best ever. Love, Kevin." And he says, also, my mother-in-law is going on our cruise with us and 2 other families in February. LOL, go Phillies. And we have a lot of Phillies fans in the audience, so go Phillies. Yeah, it's super interesting because a lot of times the core memories are derived from cast member interactions, right? They are. I mean, they're about a cast member coming up, and when you see somebody that's from your hometown, even your state, because I'm from Missouri, right? And you don't see a lot of folks down at Walt Disney World that are from the Midwest or from Missouri. You see a lot of East Coasters, you see a lot of Northeasterners, New Yorkers, folks, obviously up in New England and so forth that work down, snowbirds that retire to Florida. But when you see somebody that's, if I would see somebody that was from St. Charles, St. Peter's, Florissant, where I grew up, St. Louis, I'd be so pumped to see somebody from my hometown, and that'd be magical to me. But like this, somebody that for your kids, excuse me, that makes a Mickey Mouse voice and makes that interaction. How special is that? That is a core memory forever. I appreciate Kevin taking the time to write that in. That makes me super excited to hear that. That's super cool to hear. So I appreciate that, Kevin. And I'm glad that you're sailing with your mother-in-law. Now, don't get me wrong. I've said this before. My mother-in-law is going on the Disney Wish in July, and we're taking a cruise in July on Disney Cruise Line. However, we are literally going to be ships passing in the night. They're sailing on the Disney Wish. My family is sailing on the Disney Fantasy because we just sailed the Disney Wish. So they're going to be on the Wish. We're going to be on the Fantasy, but we're sailing 3 days apart because we want to go to the Caribbean. They want to go to the Bahamas. They want to go on the new ship. We just sailed that with the podcast cruise. So I'm not sailing with my in-laws. I know I'm terrible. No, I would sail with them in a heartbeat. It's just the itinerary. So yeah, my sister-in-laws and mother-in-law, they're all going to be on that ship. I'm going to be on the Fantasy in the Eastern Caribbean because I've never done that one. So there you go. All right. So we had a question here, and it's from Kristen in the live chat. And I like this. She can't call in today, but she had a would you rather. And this is super interesting because I have a story I want to share here in just a second. She says, can't call in, but I have a would you rather for you. Disney World in late January or Disneyland in March? That is a tough one. So again, on the social media, let me know what you would pick at Be Our Guest Mike. I'll retweet all these so that Kristen maybe can pick those up on the social media. But Disney World in January, pros and cons, Disneyland in March. Okay, so let's go with Disney World in late January. The weather starts to get better in Florida in February. February in Florida is amazing. That's why I love Princess Half Marathon Weekend. It's great. Late January, it can be awesome too. It can still get a little cool, but it can be really, really good at that time of the year. What I would say for late January, low crowds. You're going to have shorter park hours, but you're going to be, let's see, I'm trying to think if you have a festival then. I think Festival of the Arts is going on then, if I'm not mistaken. That is a huge plus because I love that festival. So that's something you could consider. So let's think about that. Disneyland in March, good weather out there. But here's the thing about March, spring break. You're going to have higher crowds definitely at Disneyland in March, but you're going to have beautiful weather. I would say the weather's probably likely to be better at Disneyland in March, but you're definitely going to be running into higher crowds. Now, if I had to pick, God, it's so tough. I would go Disneyland in March. I would just do it. I love Disneyland, but either one is going to be great. But I would probably hold off and get, March Disneyland is what I would do. But either one's going to be great. And I will say, here's my side story. As of recording this show, we record these shows on Mondays. I just now, and this is going to give a lot of the runners and stuff and all of our Uber planners hives. So I did all my planning for January today. I know a lot of people have had this on the books for 12 months. So I'm running Dopey in January. And then I'm going to Disneyland the next week to run the 10K and the half marathon out of Disneyland. So I'll be, doing that kind of thing. I just booked my room for Dopey down in January. So I booked Coronado. So I'm excited for that. Woo! That's my kind of go-to right there in the center of, it's really close to Epcot. So I'm staying at Coronado, water view room, got a good deal on an AP offer. And I did book my Disneyland stuff a long time ago, Disneyland Hotel. I have not booked any flights until this afternoon. I booked all my flights this afternoon. We're on the Southwest app, saw what was going on. This is usually the sweet spot to book about 60, 70 days out, 75 days. I found I have a bunch of frequent flyer points. I got both flights round trip from St. Louis to Orlando and then St. Louis to LAX and back. I could have bought, if I didn't get early bird, I would have spent $12 on my flights to both destinations. However, I bought early bird, so I ended up spending, I think it was like $101 after taxes. So thank God for rewards points on Southwest. So basically, I'm flying to both destinations for free. So I'm pumped for that. But yeah, if I had to decide with Disneyland to fly, because you can fly into 5 different airports. I like Long Beach, but LAX just had the best time, and it had nonstops both coming in and coming out. That's a huge deal. I just don't want to have to connect. So we'll have some fun there. So I'm not stress. I've got my flights booked. I got my hotels booked. I'm staying at Coronado and we're good for that. So let's see here. We have a question. Annabelle says, "Hey, Mike, I love the podcast this morning about sprinkling pixie dust to random guests. Can you list off some other cool items that you could do? That you could do similar to gifting a balloon." Let's put that in the live chat. What else could you give to guests? Back in the day, the go-to was the paper fast pass, right? We would accumulate so many paper fast passes throughout the day, and they didn't enforce the return times. So what you would do is, if you were leaving the park and you had paper fast passes that you just didn't feel like using, you would gift those to families coming in. Now, we'd have to be careful because we were always a family of 3 because it was before Mallory. So we'd just be myself, my wife, and Paige. And so we'd have 3. So we'd make sure not to give it to a family of 4 so people didn't fight, like who has to be left out and not get to ride a ride. So we'd strategically kind of walk around the park, walk down Main Street on the way out. Ooh, there's a family of 3. Here, would you guys like to go ride Space Mountain? We have 3 fast passes you can use right now. Dude, they get so excited. We did that all the time. Yeah, the balloon thing, buy a balloon, give it to somebody. You couldn't do a food item because that's kind of sketch. I don't know. What else could we do? What else could you kind of give to somebody like that? Because I love the idea. I think it was Justin in Louisville. It was on the show Monday. They gifted somebody at the very end of the trip a balloon. I thought that was awesome. All right, let's add a couple of people. Let's see. Alfred's here in the live video chat. Let's add him in. Alfred, what's your question? What's going on, buddy?
Hi, Mike. How are you?
I am great. Thanks for being in here. So what's your question?
Sure. Well, I have a few, so I hope you don't mind.
We got a quick show, so give me your best one. What you got first?
I'll do the first one. Which is the most economical for my trip on November 15th, train or plane? Because I haven't booked yet.
So I have never ridden a train. I mean, other than just for fun here in the Midwest, we don't do trains. So yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I just booked on rewards points with Southwest. I have 2 round trip flights for under $100, and it wasn't bad with Southwest. Honestly, I don't know what options you got because we don't book flights for guests. I don't know. I mean, out of the Northeast, JetBlue I think has some good deals, right?
Yeah, usually.
A lot of people fly from your neck of the woods. I think I would look
Yeah.
at it. I mean, time's money though, right? I mean, you can be there in 2 hours or 24. I would look at that too.
Yeah. Okay, next one. What should I expect to do at Jollywood?
Jollywood nights?
Yes.
Priorities. So what night are you going to when are you?
Good question. It is November. I have it here. Just give me a sec. Where is it? Sorry, Mike.
No, either way, it doesn't matter. I was just curious if you're going to be there.
It is on November 18th.
Sweet. So first of all, you got to see that show with the Muppets. Right?
Okay.
That's going to be huge. Miss Piggy and Kermit are doing a show. They're bringing the Muppets back. They're going to have even if you don't drink or anything like that, they're going to have like a bar experience set up at Tower of Terror. That's going to have kind of some jazz music.
A lounge, right?
Yeah, lounge. That environment will be just killer. And what I would do is I'd be there as, way before the party starts so that you can take advantage of every single minute and just explore the entire park. Take it all in and make sure you get that guide map. And what I would do, since the reason I asked when you're going, those guide maps for the party specifically will be available online because obviously you're not going to the first one. Find a scan of that online and have a plan way before you go, and then just map out like these are my priorities because you're going to know through social media what's off.
Where would I find that, on Disney.com or?
I'll just Google it because everybody's gonna be posting those the first night on social media. I mean, Ricky will probably post one. She's going to the first party.
Oh, okay, cool. Next question.
Yep.
I always book at Pop Century lately, but I would like to go to a deluxe since it's been a long time. What is the best rates I can get? Are there discounts usually? Is it pass holder rates that are the best?
So if you're going deluxe, now see, I got Coronado today for about the price of you can usually get Pop. So that's not deluxe, that's a moderate. But I got Coronado, I think, on an AP rate for January at about $230 a night, which isn't too bad. That's pre-tax. That was a water view, by the way. It's not tower, but it's water view. And that was marathon weekend. But deluxe, you might be able to sometimes get a standard view at Animal Kingdom Lodge. That's usually your lowest, and that's going to start usually around $380 or $400 for some nights. I mean, it just depends on your dates, right? It's availability. It's the calendar changes day to day. But
so there's nothing cheaper than that, really, in deluxe?
Not at a deluxe.
No.
That's where you're probably starting is Animal Kingdom standard view, and that's going to be like least demanding days ish.
Okay.
It's off the top of my head. I don't have a pull.
Oh yeah, no, I know. It's rough. Yeah.
I'm not a calculator.
So would you say a pass holder discount is also the best way to do it?
It is. Yep. Yeah. That is going to be unless you're a Florida resident.
Okay.
That's
not yet.
To get up and move.
Maybe soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And one more question. I'm done.
Okay.
Do I need to tell each dining ADR that I will be celebrating my birthday?
Yes. Or you could just tell them when you check in at the booth. I don't even put it on my reservations. I just tell them when I check in. I tell the host or hostess. That's just
great. And then, does Pop do anything special for the birthday?
Sometimes. I just tell them to check in because a lot of times they don't even look at the notes. Like they get in a hurry, they assign you a room. But I just tell them, hey man, always when I check in, I tell them I'm super excited to get here, and I'm bubbly. I'm like, God, I've been looking forward to this trip for six months and so glad to be off work and to finally be here. And I'm 50,
exactly.
Like 20.
That's the reason.
That's what you do, and the more excited you are, the more excited they're going to be to make magic for you. You know what I'm saying? Don't be like, and they're going to be like, you know what? I'm making your day even better right now, man.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, it's the best tip. They want to spread pixie dust on people that want, to have the experience. So do that.
Yeah. And then maybe they'll throw a little birthday gift in the room.
Dude, you're dreaming. They might give you a button, dude. Don't go too crazy.
Yeah, or a card. I've got a card.
That'd be cool. Yeah, you might get a card. Yeah,
Yeah.
you never
forget
know. It doesn't hurt.
I forget where I was. I got a card. It must have been Pop, actually. It was of the I think of the princesses.
Yeah. Pop, Coronado, and Riverside are pretty good about in-room gifts every once in a while. Not saying
Yeah,
you'll get them, but I've gotten them there.
right,
I mean,
right.
and Animal
But if
Kingdom
you
ones
make
one
sure
time I
you
got
tell
them.
them
Yeah, you gotta
at
tell them.
check-in,
Yeah.
the next day they might throw it in.
You know, it just depends if you got a cast member that gets it or not. Somebody that
Yeah,
likes their job or somebody that's just like, I'm here. It's
exactly.
off.
If
Yeah.
I worked there, I'd be
I
like,
know, same,
"I'll give
same.
it
I
to
mean, why
everyone."
not? I'm with
Yeah,
you, but what are
yeah.
you gonna do? All right. Well, hey,
Um,
Alfred, I got a
that's
few more
it.
people
Yep.
lined up. So, hey, happy 50th early, buddy.
Thank you,
All
and
right, take care. I'll
I'll
talk to you
try to
soon.
talk to you on Sunday if I can.
All right, Scotty G will be back.
All
All right,
right.
we'll see you. All
Have
right,
a
bye-bye.
good one.
You too.
Bye.
All right, we got another caller here. Looks like Ryan is in the video chat. Ryan, thanks for jumping in. What's going on?
No problem. I figured I'd just jump in real quick. I got a couple that I was thinking about. One, just selfishly, any recommendations for hotel stays in Fort Lauderdale if you're going out of that port the night prior? And if you want to expound that to any other ports or whatever, and or is Disney even in range of a car if you drove there?
See,
And
I
then the
don't
second,
because that's a new port to us with Disney Cruise
okay,
Line just starting to sail out of Lauderdale, which I
sure,
love because it's great to have kind of a second home port for the ships now. I mean, that's going to be
right,
something I think they develop over the next 5 to 10 years, hopefully as like a Port Canaveral 2. But
yeah.
I
Do you
don't
know the plans for all of that down there?
I
I
think
mean,
they are going to make it because with all these ships, honestly, I think it is going to be like a Port Canaveral too, right? I think they're going to
mhm,
develop it. Right now, it is just, it's like when they sail out of, I think for right now as they're doing it, I think it's going to be like a Miami, right? Where it's just
mhm,
basically like a lease space. Because I've sailed out of Miami and you can tell it's not the it's not the Port Canaveral experience, right? You can tell that they're leasing the port and but they I mean they decorate it. They do like an overlay of their space. You can tell it's Disney Cruise Line, but it's not ground up built. I mean, I think they will invest in that because the thing is they're going to have so many ships at this point that they're going
mhm.
to have to home port multiple ships down there, I would imagine, because they're going to want to have the treasure, the adventure, the wish. They're gonna have they're gonna do more shuffling, I think, of the ships out of Florida now that they're gonna have more of a fleet presence. And I think that to me, I don't know. You can tell me because you've sailed Disney Cruise Line multiple times, right?
I've done it once,
Well,
so this is
okay.
my second time.
Well,
Yeah,
let me ask you this: as somebody that's kind of new to the experience, I mean, it's
yeah,
cool to get this perspective too. Is that I think the whole experience starts at the port, at the terminal, right? And I think when you go out of Port Canaveral, it is super cool to just when you arrive, it's like when you get to the Magic Kingdom, right? It's seeing the building and walking up the escalator and the building itself and walking through those big Mickey ears, like the whole thing. It's part of the overall experience. And I think Disney Cruise Line ultimately would like to have that out of Fort Lauderdale and wherever they sail out of. They can't have that everywhere, but I think they will eventually there. I hope. We'll see.
yeah. I mean, it's certainly a better experience out of Port Canaveral. I've sailed out of Miami on Royal Caribbean as well before, and the port experience for that is much less streamlined. It feels like, at least in terms of what I experienced going through Port Canaveral, and you just
Right.
kind of feel like you're in it, as
Yeah,
you said.
in Miami, it's even with Disney Cruise Line. I've sailed
Yeah,
Royal Caribbean and Disney Cruise Line out of Miami, and it seems like utilitarian down there, right?
yeah,
It seems like
yeah,
you get there, okay, check in. It's like an airport, really. I mean, kind
yeah,
of. It's like get you on the boat and let's get out of here. Where it not that it's like magical at Port Canaveral, but
right,
it's themed a little.
yeah,
It seems more Disney. There's characters walking around and
yeah.
everything. You look at the ground. There's decorations on the in the tile. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah,
Feels like you're in the Delta Lounge instead
here.
of the terminal.
It's not so bad, I don't know. It's probably
Yeah,
we're all like, "Oh, it's so cool," and everybody else is like, "Dude, it's a building, get over it."
right.
I like it. Anyway.
Yeah.
What I would do is I would just look at here's what I tell my guests for ports that I'm not familiar with. Look at Expedia and Orbitz and those sites. People are brutally honest in the reviews. And so if some place has consistently good reviews, I would trust it
Right.
because people, if they don't like a place, like they will rip it to shreds. So that's what I say, like I'd look around the port and try to find a decent deal and just look at the reviews, man. Because if it's got decent reviews, it's probably a safe bet, because people
Mhm.
will shred places that are going to be borderline not good to stay.
But- And I'll leave you with one question more that you can just expound upon, and I'll go off. But have you ever considered doing any Disney challenges? So, like you did a trip report not that long ago, maybe 6 months or so, where someone did that running challenge where they were going to do a certain amount of miles at every single resort and park or something like that. And I'm not saying running, but like, I don't know, is it like a monorail crawl, or you want to do one ride, one treat, and one non-ride attraction at each park or something in a day? Have you ever considered that or heard of anything that sounded like they were pretty cool? And I'll let
That's so funny because I am not drawn into that stuff. Because like you
Yeah.
always hear about the 4 parks in one day challenge and all that stuff, right? And I don't know, because I do the dopey challenge, like I run. You're a runner, right? Aren't you? Are you running?
I do like Spartan races. I haven't done Run Disney.
Oh my god,
So
Spartan races are harder than Run Disney, though, right? Those are like things where you do the obstacle courses and all that.
yeah. So I have meant to do Run Disney. So I do like a 5K a week probably, and I'll do a 10K every now and then just to like keep in shape beyond like my other workout stuff. But yeah, like the races that I end up getting pulled into with my friends. I don't know that I would say I even want to do Spartan races, but my friends keep making me do them.
I'm with you. It's peer pressure, man.
Yeah. So, but that's typically
part of the group now. Like I got to do it. It's a podcast,
Exactly. It's right. It's like, I don't think I like this anymore, but they like, I signed you up, so
God, you're like my conscience talking to me right now. My so bad 24/7, but I'm like, I'm part of the team, man. I got to do this, and if I got to do this, I got to train. And every morning I get up like,
right.
What are you doing? Like it's snap, crackle, pop going down the treadmill. But I got my friends. We'll all be there in January. I got to go, So yeah. Anyway, yeah, those challenges are interesting, and I love like hearing about them and seeing people go through them. But I'll be honest, when I go to Walt Disney World anymore, I'm just like always tired. You know what I'm saying? Like my challenge is like I like to go super early in the morning. I get up in the morning, I run, I go to the parks, and I like to go back to the resort midday, take a break, and then go in the evening and enjoy myself. So I'm not really great for those challenges. But what about you? Have you ever tried one or considered one? Is there anything that sounds interesting to you? Because I realize that's the thing.
Yeah, I think maybe when my girls get older, I'll give it a shot at something like that. I think that would be something that would pull them in as they get older. I think right now it's more like just hoping I can get them through the day without having to buy too many snacks.
But right there. That's keep the gift shop challenge. Yeah, keep
right.
$50 souvenirs challenge. Yeah, totally.
Exactly right.
I know for real with kids, it's just like, can we keep it to like less than 3 fights and less than 4 sessions of tears challenge?
I mean, honestly, like the challenge right now is like getting them out the door when I think that we should get out the door.
So true. Yeah, when you have 3 girls, dude, well, you know what? I've given that challenge up like a decade ago because I'm just.
Oh my gosh, I need to. Well, I mean, I never complete it. Right? It's
the whole thing. Yeah, it's like it's a losing challenge, and I hate to lose. But it's like, I'm like the Little River Band. I'm the lonesome loser on that one every time. Every time, man. It's brutal. It's terrible.
Yeah. All right. I like. Well, I'll let you keep going, but I just figured I'd jump in and ask a couple.
I appreciate you, Ryan. Thank you so much. Where are you calling from, by the way? Where are you at?
I'm in Bristol, Tennessee. I'm at home now. I'm about to take my daughter to her soccer game. My other daughter just went to soccer practice, and I got to figure out where my 4-year-old's going. So I'm scrambling as usual.
I remember those days, man. Paige played select club soccer, and we were gone every single day. And sometimes she played CYC, like the Catholic school soccer too, at the same time. We were like going from one practice to the next, and
I've got both my older and my middle in it, and club, and we're trying to scramble all the time for it. So, but they like it, so we're doing it.
You're a Vols fan, I'm guessing.
Yeah. We were. It was a great first half. If we could have paused.
I didn't have cell service, right? And so
Yeah.
I was at the Mizzou game, no cell service in the stadium. Like we were rolling.
Oh
And so
yeah,
I'm
you
watching
guys.
the score, I'm a Bama fan. So I'm watching the scoreboard. I'm like, oh, this is not going well. This is not going well. And then so we left after the third quarter to get pizza because it was great pizza. It was homecoming at Mizzou. And because we were just rolling the Gamecocks. I loved it. And
Yeah, you guys.
so I was like, I got to see the end of that game. And so it turned out okay there. But we get to see you guys up at Como here shortly. So that'll be fun.
Yeah. We are going to have to beat you guys to put a bow on our season.
Yeah.
So.
Dude, if we can roll Georgia, and I think we can. I mean, I'm not saying we had them beat last year. Oh my God, I shouldn't have opened my mouth. We had Georgia fans sitting right in front of us. And I opened my mouth and had to put my foot in it. But oh man, 2 weeks, we got a chance. And then man,
I think you can, man. I mean, with them losing Bowers, I mean, he really, ran their offense and created a lot of their space,
Anything. I know. Okay. But I'm just saying. I know. But yeah, we'll see. But we'll welcome up the Vols. I'm taking my daughter with me because she wants to go because she's a Morgan Wallen fan and she thinks he might show up, which he's not going to. But that's what she thinks. So anyway, we'll get the game together. So it'll be a father-daughter game. So I appreciate it, Ryan. Thanks for calling in, and I appreciate you. Thanks so much.
Yep.
Take care. All right, see you later. All right, we have another caller. Let's get this. Thomas is in here. Hey, sir.
I just thought it was.
Show. You gotta be ready, man. I'll get you right in here on the podcast. You're live on the show. What's up?
I didn't realize. I thought I was just chilling and watching.
Oh man, there's no chill on the Be Our Guest podcast.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, how you doing?
Talking to everybody, all millions of us. No, actually, a few.
Well, hello, all millions that are going to watch us later, I'm sure.
Yeah, later on. Yeah, we got an audience of tons of people. So, hey, what's going on? Thank you for jumping in. You got a question or a comment? We're just recording the show for Wednesday because Pam and Ricky are at Walt Disney World and Scott's just covered 6 time zones, and I'm scared to put him on the air.
No, I was kind of hoping to listen to Scott's trip report, but I guess we'll have to wait. That's all good.
Well, see, I was thinking about doing that, but he's probably getting his dog today. He just landed, I think, at about 10 or 11 this morning. And I thought that if I tried to get him right now, it'd be incoherent,
Yeah,
so I'm going to let him get his mind back together.
Yeah, I've done those long travels. I get it.
I've never done anything like that. Like Disneyland screwed me up. And that was like only 2 time zones. And I can't imagine 6. And he's been going hard for 8 days. Oh,
yeah. I saw some of his posts on Instagram. So he was definitely having some fun.
Living his best life. So what's going on with you? I can't wait to have you on the show, but we're trying to get everybody back so we can actually do a show with all 5 of us here because we're going to do that. But everybody's been bailing on me.
No, I get it. Life's busy. I'm swamped myself, so it's all good. I understand.
Fall's crazy.
So
I said earlier in the show, I just booked my room for Dopey, and that's probably giving everybody else that's planning hives. But you book for everybody else, you don't book for yourself. I was like, you know what? It's the end of October. I should probably see if I can get a room. It's 2 months away. So yeah. So what's going on with you though? What's up?
Well, nothing. So I'm just doing my my reserve training. I got back to my room and I saw you were live, and I was like, oh well, I'll try this whole link thing. I'm kind of shocked. It said only the host could see you, and next thing I know,
until I hit the magic button, then bam, everybody gets to see you. So there.
Yeah. Well, I do have a quick Disney comment that
sure.
So I know we talked earlier before. So in December, my daughter's doing a dance competition down there. We finally got the itinerary. Part of the itinerary includes like a VIP for the participants, like an after hours. Mm-hmm. And we found it's going to be an Animal Kingdom in Pandora. And at first I was I was hoping for like Toy Story Land or Star Wars, something in Hollywood Studios. And I was a little disappointed. And my wife, of all people, who's not the Disney fan, she's like, well, it'd be really cool to see Pandora at night. And we've never seen it. We've always left left Animal Kingdom early. So, and actually I was like, that's a good point. Like my wife was right. I hope she's not listening.
No, because you get points for that. Your wife was right. I'm going to isolate that and give you that. You can make that your ringtone on your phone.
Yeah, I'm afraid. So she's always right. I'm always wrong. But
I'll isolate that too. There's your better ring, Joe. Right there. Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
No
every
problem.
time I get promoted, she sometimes miraculously still outranks me. So I don't.
I mean, I'm not even in the military, and that's how it rolls around here. I mean, my wife was a teacher, I was a teacher, and she always was higher than me. So that's how it was.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. So anyway, yeah, well, looking forward to seeing Pandora at night. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So
that'll be a cool experience. I mean, definitely you'll get some amazing pictures. You'll get those, a flight of passage without the long wait. I mean, Navi River Journey is pretty sweet too. And yeah, it's a great place. I mean, I've gotten to run races through there early in the morning, pre-dawn, and it's amazing. It's super cool when there's not just mobs of people. Yeah, you're gonna have a good time. It'll be fun.
yeah,
You'll like it.
no, definitely looking forward to it. So,
Cool experience.
but yeah, I'm still a little like I'm the Disney planner of the family. So we have a whole bunch of girls, their families, and my wife is scaring me. She's like, "Well, everyone's trying to think to do something," and I'm a little worried that it's going to be me at the end of the day. Either that, or I'm going to want to like, "Hey, let's go to Epcot and go to France and watch the Circle Vision."
Well,
impressions to France.
You don't have to stay with the dancers. Like the dancers can all go one way, and you can go the other way. I did that on Summit a couple times.
Yeah, I'm going to make that my ringtone.
You say, if you need permission, have them call me. I'll say it's okay.
I will. So.
Not all the time, but you got to have your time. Like you said, not everybody's cut out for those Circle Vision movies at Epcot, but somebody's got to watch them so they don't go away.
I know. I'll take the thing.
That's exactly right. Well, Thomas, it's so good to talk to you. I appreciate your service and thank you so much for that. And I appreciate the friendship more than that.
Yeah, no, it's been awesome. Thanks, Mike. I'm looking forward to being on the show whenever you get a chance. No rush. I get it.
We'll get it. I promise you. Once I get, man, everybody bailed on me. I'm the only one that's staying here in the studio doing the thing. Everybody's having fun in Hawaii and Walt Disney World, and I'm here in Missouri. So what are you going to do?
Dedication, Mike. That's you. Dedicated.
Just
you're dedicated, motivated.
It's football. It's football, man. It's like I am not leaving until football season's over. We're on a good run, and I'm going to see every game. I'm not going anywhere. So that's how it rolls in the fall. I appreciate you, buddy. You stay safe. Appreciate you.
You too. Take care.
See you later. Bye-bye. All right, we have one final caller who's been hanging here with me, and it's my good friend Fulton out in Indiana. Fulton, how you doing,
buddy? Hey, great. It's been a long time.
It has. How are you out in Indiana?
It's pretty good. I'm actually doing Elf the Musical this year.
Nice. That's so good.
Yeah.
So what?
I just turned 24 already. So.
Wow, man.
Yep.
Good catch up with me. You're halfway to my age.
Yeah, and then we won a softball game, so we're the state champions.
Congratulations on that. It's good to hear.
Thank you.
Success.
Yeah. Yep. So what you been up to?
I see that you're outside. Where are you?
Yeah, I'm at taking Nuna to the dog park today.
Oh man, it looks beautiful. Nice here.
Yeah, it is beautiful. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. I wish you could come to the place sometime so you can come to Indiana and see the musical.
I know. Mallory's best friend spent the last weekend out at IU. She was out at Indiana University with her brother goes there now. So she wanted to get out there, but out in Bloomington, but didn't make it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey,
happy birthday to you, Mike.
I still got a month. I'm not there yet. Back off. I'm not there yet. Easy. I got a month and a few days. I'm not.
And Mike, don't forget, I've got a virtual interview next month on November 15th with a musical special guest.
Okay, that sounds good. Just let me know about it.
I will.
Okay, well, I'm going to run because we got to wrap this show. We're getting a little long, but it's great talking to you, and have a great Halloween, buddy.
Thanks, you too.
I'll talk to you soon, Fulton. You take care.
Right.
Tell the family I said hello. All right.
I will.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. So that was kind of fun today. It was a little bit different, and I appreciate you guys being patient with me and trying something different today, but we had a good time there, I think. And, Pam and Ricky down at Walt Disney World, Scott, readjusting to be back in the mitten up in Michigan. But we got some great conversation there and some questions about Fort Lauderdale and cruising. Not that we had great answers. Pandora at night. And, Alfred had a lot of great questions there at the beginning of the show. And we had that core memory. Also, the answer we had for that question about some things to give away is just sprinkling pixie dust on some guests. Paul said in the live chat, as we were talking about some of the other questions, he said his wife bought $100 worth of $5 gift cards. And then when they saw a kid having a rough time, like a meltdown, or a kid doing something really well behaved, they would send one of their kids over with it and hand it off. So how about that? Little $5 gift cards, hand those. I love that idea. And that's super cool. And then Annabelle's had a question real quick. Another great question is, what % of the guests in Epcot that walk through the Canada Pavilion say, "Oh, Canada"? I was there not too long ago, and I think I heard it 4 or 5 times. I've never heard anybody say, "Oh, Canada," going through Canada. But next time, I'm going to say it just for Annabelle. I like that. All right, so we are going to jump out of here. And I promise next week, back to the regular shows. Pam and Rick will be back. Scott will be back, and we'll have a good time. Now, we will have the phone lines open on Sunday night for a regular call-in show, and Scott's going to be with us. So you want to ask him about his trip? That's the time. We're also going to do some Monday shows where it's just going to be Scott and I talking about all the details. But if you have a question, if you're heading to Alani, you just want to ask him, how was the shave ice? Why didn't you surf it the North Shore? Anything like that. What was it like typing in the lost computer when he went on that tour? Sunday night, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. We're going to be live at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. Give us a call, and maybe we'll even have the video chat available as well. That's going to be, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central on all the places. So join us for the BOGP open line. Also, we are going to be available to have the questions on the Wednesday show for next Wednesday. You can drop a question in our inbox. Just send that to Mike@BeOurGuestPodcast.com, and we'll put that in the queue to answer with the panel next Wednesday. Don't forget, our show is brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Check them out for all your Disney trip planning needs. I'd love to help you plan that trip this week, right now. So just swing by themagicforless.com, fill out the quote form while you're there, put as much information in there as you have, and then I'll get you that quote right away. Lickety split is what I like to say. We'll get you the best deal possible. That's what I do. And it costs you nothing extra. I'm not going to charge you anything. We're going to get you a great deal and cost you nothing extra. So check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link as we move into that holiday season. That one extra click, if you could just bookmark that on your homepage or on your browser, and just every time you go to Amazon, just click through that link. It doesn't give us a lot of commission. Actually, it's pretty small, but it adds up with our audience. If everybody uses it when you buy anything online, that really does support us. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our patrons. You guys carry the show. We have an archive of almost 2,500 episodes. That does cost quite a bit, but it's okay because we love what we do. I'm so glad that we get to have this community. We are all passionate Disney fans, and we really do a lot of good out there in the community. We raised $47,000 this year for Give Kids the World. That's real good in the world that we got together and made some magic. I mean, that is tangible good in the world. And it's because of your support that we get to do this show. We get to have this community. We get to have some amazing things. And it's because of you. So patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. If you'd like to support us, just $5 a month. It's like a coffee or a value meal at McDonald's. We'd sure appreciate that. And you'll get that bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. So come on over to patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. One other thing, if you wouldn't mind, and I know this show hasn't been great because it's just been Mike talking for 45 minutes, and that's never a great thing. But if you like the other shows, a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, wherever you get the show, that would sure be appreciated this week because that's how a lot of people find our podcast. All right, we're going to jump out of here. Give me a follow on social media, Be Our Guest Mike as well, Instagram, Threads, Twitter/X. I'd love to talk to you this week as well. All right, time to jump out of here. We'll be back again on Friday. Great show coming your way. Pam joins me. We recorded this one a bit early about iPhone photography during the golden hour, sunrise, sunset, where to get amazing sunrise and sunset pictures on property, settings for your iPhone so that you can get real vibrant pictures so that those photos look amazing when you share them on social media. And we just have a good time talking about capturing those images, especially at sunrise and sunset, that you're just going to be the envy of everybody on your social media feed. So get ready for that coming your way on Friday. All right, jumping out of here. Thanks so much for being here. And thanks for being patient with me here on a Wednesday when everybody else was gone. I'm glad I got to hang with you guys. All right. You guys have a great Wednesday. So until we get back together again, you guys stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Woo, we did it. We did it. Let me save that. Episode 2, 3, 7, 8. Kind of strange, but what are you going to do? You got to have a strange one every now and then, I guess. All right, I'll see y'all later.